all rise, pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay, everybody, thanks for coming down. We have starting with the minutes for the July 17th meeting and the July 24th meeting. You all had a chance to read the minutes. Could I have a motion to carry, to pass the minutes as written?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We have the monthly department reports. You've all had a chance to review the reports of all departments. Is there any questions from any of the trustees on the reports? Any questions from any of our residents on the from any department? Any questions? If not, I'd like to have a motion to pass the reports as
So
written.
moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. How about that for speed? Okay, now we'll get down to some real serious stuff here. We've had many of our youth in Lynbrook have achieved, real quality things, and we noticed in the newspapers the last couple of weeks some of our youth has been recognized, and we felt the village of Lynbrook should recognize them as well, and really high quality achievements, and very proud of our youth, and many times we forget to bring them out. Now, this is being televised, and more people watch this than television than come down, as you see. And it's important for us to let the village residents know the quality of children that we have and what they do. So we're going to give citations to some of these residents. And the first one on the list tonight is Colleen Kaufman. Would you stand up, Colleen? I want to read you something here, and of course your sister Christine is here, right? Where's Christine? And Matthew, your brother? There's Carol and Mom, Caroline, and Al Jr. sitting back there. And Grandma and Grandpa? Yeah, they are. I see. There you go. There you go. Right there. Gladys and Al Kaufman, Sr., and know them for many years. And now we have a star in the family. Sit down a minute while I tell everybody what you did. Colleen Kaufman is the year 2000 National Juvenile Solo Champion in the sport of baton twirling. Colleen is the daughter of Caroline and Al Kaufman. She is 11 years old, and there's the next champion just screaming out over there. She's 11 years old and has been twirling for 6 years. She's twirling competitively also requires her to study dance and gymnastics. In addition, Colleen is the year 2000 New York State Juvenile Divisional Solo and Dance Twirling Champion, as well as the Northeast Regional Juvenile Champion in Solo. Maybe you're going to explain to us what the solo means. And dance twirl. I mean, solo means you do it by yourself, right? Okay. It's not how I used to spell it, that's why. In the past, Colleen has won the 1999 National Dance Twirl at 10 years old championship title, numerous Northeast Regional and New York State Championship titles in dance twirl, solo, and 2 baton. She plays basketball, ballet, and is honor student at Our Lady of Peace School. Colleen is a member of the Dynamics Twirling organization. She is coached by Aileen Robbins of the Dynamics, and Suzanne Osterberg of Legs Limited. Are the coaches here tonight? Stand up and be recognized. You know, it's the coaches and Mom and Dad that got you where you are. Remember that. Don't forget that. So, Colleen, we'd like to give you a citation, and then maybe you're going to do a little, can you perform in this place here without killing us, or what? Do a little something for us? Just happen to have the time, you know. I'm glad you're not a piano player. So anyway, let me read this. Colleen, you have that trustee form. And we'll take a picture after. Okay. May it hereby be known that the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Incorporated Village of Lynbrook do hereby desire to publicly acknowledge and recognize Colleen Kaufman on being the year 2000 National Juvenile Solo Champion in the sport of baton twirling, 2000 New York State Juvenile Divisional Solo Dance Twirl Champion, and the Northeast Regional Juvenile Champion in the solo and dance twirl. Be it further known that it is an honor and distinct pleasure to commend you for these remarkable achievements, as well as for your ability to combine your sports activity with your scholastic responsibilities to achieve honor roll status. And be it further known that we extend to you our sincere congratulations and best wishes on securing these titles, and hope that your future continues to be filled with success in all your endeavors. Thank you very much for living in Lynbrook, Colleen. Colleen, would you like to tell us what you do and how you got to where you are? You can lower that mic. Somebody help lower that microphone right there.
Sulu, Phil.
You okay? How about Coach? Maybe Coach can help her out? Keep coaching. Where it all began and how did it get to this point?
Testing, yes? Okay. Colleen obviously is an exceptional athlete, so this past September we decided to try out for the pre-trial event. What that means is right now the United States is trying to get baton twirling into the Olympics. And so we compete worldwide. We want to get Colleen involved in that. So we went into an event called pre-trials, hoping to go to nationals and make the top 6, and Colleen placed second, being the youngest one in the category. So now this coming September, we are now going to take on the U.S. trials, which means that if Colleen goes to our national competition and wins either the gold, silver, or bronze medal, she will go to Europe to represent the United States in the sport of baton twirling.
All right.
Would you like to see her do a little stuff?
We'd like to see a little demonstration.
Okay, Carl. We'll just do a couple of the compulsories and then go on to a little bit of her solo. Okay, you ready? Compulsory number 1, begin. Compulsory number 3, begin. Compulsory number 5, begin. And compulsory number 9, begin. It's a little obviously hard to twirl on a carpet, but Colleen, she'll just do a little bit of the opening of her solo, and then that'll be it. Try and do it with your jacket, don't get caught. That's usually a 4 turn underneath that, and with it a spin walk over. So Colleen would normally throw the baton up and do maybe 2 cartwheels underneath that right now. Ceiling obviously not high enough. And drops are acceptable.
And we can edit that.
That's good, Kyle. Ta-da!
All right.
And just on a final note, twirling incorporates a tremendous amount of gymnastics and dancing, so Colleen is usually leaping and walkovering all over the floor. So one day we hope to be in the Olympic trials. We need 42 countries. Right now we have 24. So keep promoting our sport. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Colleen, and if you could just sit down there, we're going to go through 2 more awardees, and then we're going to take a picture of all of you together, okay? The next one we have, what we got, is Michael Kelly. Michael, where are you? Stand up, Mike. Sitting next to Michael is Mom, that's Mary Kelly. And sitting over here on the end is Dad, Trustee Kelly.
And sitting next to Mom is Chris Kelly.
And Chris, brother Chris, okay. So, I have a seat, Michael. I read what they said about you. Okay. Michael is a student at Lynbrook High School. He took home a silver medal in the Greco-Roman Scholastic Division and placed 6th overall in the freestyle competition. And he's a 16-year-old Michael Kelly. He's the youngest of 3 sons in Lynbrook, trustee Kevin Kelly and Mary Kelly, student at Lynbrook High School, and I said that before, and a member of the Lynbrook Junior Fire Department as well. It's a volunteer. He has been wrestling for more than 11 years, beginning with the Lynbrook Titans, coached by Hillary Becker, Bob Becker, and Kevin Murphy. Both, we were going to honor Mr. Renz. What's his first name, Kevin?
Rich Renz.
Richie Renz, who is 33 and still wrestling. But he's not able to be here tonight, and we're going to get him on another night. So this article I'm reading has to do with both of them. But both wrestlers train together year-round. The format requires powerlifting 3 days a week and wrestling 2 days a week and running for 4 days a week. Kelly is also a member of the Lynbrook High School football team. So let's just say that this young man is a big guy, right? And he's got a long way to go, and I've seen him wrestle. He's very intense, very intense. I'm glad I'm a watcher and not a wrestler. So, Michael, I'd like to read the citation we have for you. Would you like to come down and say a few words about what you do in training and how you train? No. Fine?
He'll
No
wrestle you,
thanks.
Mr. Mayor.
No thanks. May it hereby... I want to walk tomorrow. May it hereby be known that the Mayor and Board of Trustees of the Incorporated Village of Lynbrook do hereby desire to publicly recognize and acknowledge Michael Kelly for winning a silver medal in the wrestling at the 23rd Empire State Games in Greco-Roman Scholastic Division, and also for placing 6th overall in the freestyle competition. Be it further known that in recognition of these achievements and for admiration which you have inspired among your peers in your community, it is indeed an honor and to congratulate and recognize you on these achievements and extend to you our sincere best wishes for your continued success in the future. Thanks, Michael. Okay, we have one more. Justin Marino, where are you, Justin? There he goes. Okay, Justin Marino it's a very special award, I believe. Justin Marino is a sophomore at the University of Albany, represented Long Island in the Empire State Games. He placed 6th in the javelin with a toss of 173 feet, 9 inches, which was just 4 feet short of university school record. Now, Justin worked out on his own with the javelin in March in his freshman year, and has been asked by the coach of the university's track and field team, which is an NCAA Division I versus II, Division I, to become a member. In the spring of that year, Justin was nominated by the Director of Athletics to receive an All-American Scholar Collegiate Award. Justin also has been accepted for inclusion in Who's Who in the Dean's List student. In his freshman year, he was a teaching assistant in the computer science department. Justin graduated from Lynbrook High School in June 1999. He was a member of the National Honor Society and led it in varsity basketball. Justin has a learning disability and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Now, I don't believe Justin is embarrassed by this, but this to me is the sentence that says what this man is all about. This man, and I call him a man because he's reached that stage in life where he knows what's going ahead for him. But in spite of the disability that he did have, and I don't think he has it anymore, he's achieved all of this. And he said, hey, I am not going to be left behind. And when I first read this, I get chills up and down my spine to think that there are young men like this with determination who can overcome some little deficiency, that we're all born with some deficiency, I can't even speak, you see, so I'm so sorry. But to overcome all of this and achieve this, I mean, it's amazing, and I'm really proud of him. With the assistance of his teachers, both past and present, he is now starting to realize his potential, said his father, William V. Marie. Dad and Mom here? There you go.
Hi, Bill.
Okay. In the spring of his freshman year, he received the Students and Disabilities Freshman University Award for Academic Excellence. And we're very proud of you, Justin, and thank you very much. We read your citation. May it hereby be known that the Mayor and Board of Trustees of the Incorporated Village of Lynbrook do hereby desire to publicly recognize and acknowledge Justin R. Marino for both your athletic and scholastic achievements. Be it further known that your achievements of placing 6th in the javelin competition and in the 23rd Empire State Games and being selected for inclusion in Who's Who on the Dean's List students because of your scholastic achievements at the State University of Albany deserves this special recognition. And be it further known, and in recognition of these achievements for the admiration which you have inspired among your peers and in your community, is indeed an honor to congratulate and recognize you on these accomplishments and extend to you our sincere best wishes for your continued success in all your future endeavors. So.
Oh, thanks, Alex. Thanks. Thank you. Gene? Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
5-minute break. Bye, everybody. Bye, Mr. Cal. I just thought about it. Justin could have taken the baton and had a real good idea. Hoisted on my own guitar. 107, that's a long way. That's a Congratulations, Mr. Coffey. Congratulations. Nice job.
We're here.
I think everybody's leaving. I guess we gotta wait 5 minutes.
My 3-2.
What's your photo?
If you want to stay, good and welfare, it's up to you.
That's right.
Oh,
Oh, then we'll come with you.
where you
He
going?
likes ice cream. Someone broke their arm, I didn't see that. Let's keep up the cancer.
The shoulder, dislocated the shoulder.
I guess
Okay.
we're on the left side of the road now. We have to right
Okay, all right, we just had, all right, next item is a request from St. John's Church to have their annual Harvest Festival. St. John's Lutheran Church at 13 Blake Avenue, that's right across the street here. Respectfully request permission to once again hold a Harvest Festival on Sunday, October 1. Is anyone here from St. John's who want to speak on that? No? The festival will begin at 11 a.m. and continue to 3 p.m. on church property at the Triangle of Peninsula Boulevard and Merrick Road. At this annual festival, apples, cider, hot dogs, honey, flowers, pumpkins, crafts, etc. will be sold. We also request permission to erect an appropriate non-permanent sign on church property facing Peninsula Boulevard and America Road to advertise this event. We also ask the village, once again, kindly waive the appropriate fees for these permits. So,
So moved.
we'll,
Make a motion.
we won't have a problem with that.
So
All in
moved.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. I'll just remember the date, everybody. It's, I lost it already. Okay, just to remind you, the date is October 1, on a Sunday, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay. We want to award the bids. We've received the bids. They were opened, and on the proposed pool, and we want to award the bids. And the low bidder for the pool was Galvin Brothers at 49 Steamboat Road in Great Neck, Long Island. And we have sitting in the audience the engineer, Kevin. If anyone has any questions about it, he can answer them. The bid for the pool, basic pool, is $1,895,000. And then also additions. We have planters, which total of $7,650, and we also have sun shelters. There are 9 of those.
We have the
$6,400.
Mayor, we have also the reinforcement of the concrete deck at certain portions.
I didn't get to that yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to put you under the deck in a minute.
Probably
So,
end up there sooner or later.
There's $9,480 for the reinforcement of decks at a later date. If we want to put a bubble over the pool, we're not going to do it at the present time. you need reinforced concrete around the pool, and also in certain areas, if you want to get equipment in and out, you may have to put a high-low in there, which needs a little more strength. So for a 5-inch deck reinforced, it adds $9,480, and it's well-spent money for the future. And the plumbing is $351,880. No one from Lynbrook. That's just a bid for the plumbing and the electricians and the construction are 3 separate bids by law. And then there's engineering, which was taken care of, so we don't have to have that. So totally, now you can help me out. Totally is what?
For the contract to Galvin, which is the actual construction of the pool and the pool house and mechanicals and things like that, comes to, with the add-ons, comes to $1,912,130. The contract number 3, which is the plumbing and heating, comes to $351,880.
And what's the total there?
2264010.
Yeah.
$2,264,010.
Right.
So I'd like to
Those are those
award
two contracts.
recommend that the board award the contract to Galvin, and the plumbing is
Best Climate
Best
Control.
Climate Control Corporation. It's going to have a motion to
So moved.
do that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
You're opposing? Okay, we have it recorded that it's 4 in favor and 1 opposed. So it passes and the pool is on its way.
Mayor, at this time, I think it would be, just to give a little progress report, this past week, we began the process. Some of the work we are doing in-house, as you know, but we also contracted with our electrical contractor, Wellsback, the people that maintain our streetlights. And past week, they removed the large lights at the basketball courts. Those are now laying down on the ground and will be cut up and carted away. So that first phase is done. Second phase, the Department of Public Works went in and removed some of the fencing and a tree so that it can bring in some larger equipment. And I believe, and I see Mr. Healy is here, on Thursday and Friday of this week, the current basketball courts will be demolished. And unfortunately, we'd love to have done that after Labor Day and get the full summer season in, but between timing and manpower fulfillment and other things, it just wasn't feasible. So the basketball courts, as we know them, will be removed this week, weather permitting, and we will fulfill our piece to try to get the site as ready for Galvin as we possibly can. So we're moving ahead.
Okay. All right, now one item that we said we're not passing tonight was the electric, and the reason for that is that we did have one bidder, and the one bidder did not have the correct, what's the terminology, okay?
The bid did not
Acknowledge.
the addendums that were components of the project.
Why don't you get up and explain that to the public? We have to go out to bid again.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
members of the board. Kevin McCann, Drew Cameron.
Cameron Engineers.
Yes, as you stated, there are 3 contracts. The electrical contract will be rebid for the reason that there were addendums. Addendums are referred to a clarification or a change while the bids are out on the street being reviewed by a prospective contractor. In this case, the one bidder did not acknowledge receipt and review of those addendums, and accordingly, his bid was disqualified. And again, we are rebidding contract number 2, again with the belief that we should have a little bit better interest and again, optimistically see more than one bid, which will come in August 30th.
Okay. Well, we have to pass that, set the pool date, the bid date for that. It's disappointing in a way, but I guess no one from Lynbrook, none of our electricians or plumbers put in quotations, but It may be that it's too large for them, I don't know. But anyway, the next item on the agenda is to set the date of Wednesday, August 30th at year 2000 at 11 a.m. to receive bids on the pool electric. So I'd like to have a motion to set that date.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, carried. Okay. Okay, we have a public hearing now, so I'd like to record it. The time is now 8:32, and declare the public hearing open. Mr. Henrik, would you like to read the legal notice on that?
This was published in Lynbrook, USA on one occasion on August 3rd. Legal notice is hereby given that the Board of Trustees of the Incorporated Village of Lynbrook will hold a public hearing to amend Chapter 112, Section 13 of the Village Code relating to electrical standards at the board meeting of August 21, 2000 at 8 p.m. in the Village Hall, 1 Columbus Drive, Lynbrook, New York. A copy of the proposed local law will be available for inspection at the office of the village clerk during normal office hours. All interested persons will be heard during the public hearing at the time and place aforementioned. By order of the Board of Trustees, signed by Carol D. Hansen, Village Clerk Treasurer, on August 3rd, 2000. And the copy of the notice is addended here too.
Mr. Leavenworth, would you like to give a little background to this and why we have to do this?
Sure. By way of background, it should be known that whenever an electrician does any work in the village, in a home or in a business, that the electrician has to get a permit, and then once the work is done, the work has to be inspected. Now, ordinarily, a building department doesn't have an electrician on staff to do the inspection to make sure that the work meets code for one thing, and high electric standards for another. So the village uses an outside electrician inspection agency to do this work for the village. Now, of late, there are several of these agencies around who wish to do the inspection work for the village. So the village amended its code to open the opportunity for all inspection agencies to become, for a one-year period, the inspection agency for the village. And the way the process goes is that the village licensing board, which is made up of 3 electricians and the superintendent of the Department of Buildings, meets, and they determine which is the most qualified electrical inspection business, and then they would recommend to the mayor and board that company to be appointed for a certain period of time. Now, this board, which is made up of 3 electricians and 1 superintendent, comes to a number of 4. And sure enough, when the committee met to determine which company to recommend to the mayor and board, they had a 2-2 tie. So it becomes obvious that the number of the board has to be changed, so we have an odd number, so that when they vote, there'll be a majority one way or another. So the code has been proposed, amendment has been proposed for the code to allow for 4 electricians and 1 superintendent of the Department of Buildings, so that we'll have an odd number, and that when they vote, they can make a recommendation to the mayor and board. That's one. The second thing was requested by the superintendent of the Department of Buildings. He would like to see whatever agency it is that is appointed be appointed for a period of 2 years, so that the Department of Buildings will have greater ability to oversee the work and the quality of the inspection work that's being done. So these 2 proposals for the change of our code are being proposed for tonight.
Peter, I just had one question. I'm pretty sure the answer, but I'd like to hear you. The agency, the board will be recommending on even number years prior to April. If we reappoint the board and get it up to a number of 4 plus the superintendent, they'll be able to give us a recommendation right away this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think by resolution the board would probably want to have
one right away.
Right. Yeah, the action taken right away, recommendation made right away. So
by September or October or something.
I would say so, yes.
Okay,
right.
good.
Okay, is there anyone else on the board have anything to add or questions to add?
This will be fun.
Anyone from our audience will have questions to ask?
Last one.
Okay?
Slower.
Add the microphone, please.
Why don't you, we should move that down.
Miriam, your stuff fell.
Want to move that?
You want to know my name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Miriam Annunziato.
Okay, watch out. Step off the curb there because...
What does your shirt say, Miriam? Stressed out?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Miriam.
I would like to know, when you mention picking out 4 electricians, where are these people coming from?
Lynbrook.
Lynbrook resident.
Lynbrook residents. They do not work for agencies that would be involved in being chosen.
That would be a conflict.
No.
These are separate
Yes, of course.
electricians,
They would be
individuals.
eliminate themselves from...
Electricians do the work, the electrical board underwriters check the work the electricians do.
It would be impossible, they'll do work in Lynbrook, and whatever agency is selected, I assume that if that electrician who lives in Lynbrook also does some work in Lynbrook, might eventually one day come under that inspection, but I think that's avoidable. But we're still having 4 electricians that are licensed electricians sit on our board, along with Lou Bello, who is the superintendent, to make the decision.
I don't have a problem with Lou Bello. It's the 4 electricians, because I'm just wondering as to their association with any of these agencies that are going to be picked.
Not employees, but it's one time in the future, I gather they could be inspected by that agency or agencies.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else have questions? Okay. All right.
Good question, Miriam, though.
Yeah, it is. So that the item to be voted on is that we have a 5th member of the board appointed, and that it would be a 2-year appointment.
So
I'd
moved.
like to have a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I'd like to note that the time is 8:39, and that
Public hearing is closed.
public hearing is closed. Okay. Sometimes public hearings go for 2 hours. Okay, next item is Community Development Block Grant. Ms. Hanson, would you like to describe that?
Every year in April, we hold a public hearing where we look for suggestions for requesting community development funds for the village. This year, which would be the 26th year that we've received funds, we've been awarded $80,000 for residential rehabilitation grants, which is approximately 8 homes, because they run approximately $10,000 apiece. Now we are ready to enter into a contract, and we have a resolution which will authorize the mayor to sign the contract.
Okay, can I have a motion to...
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, the next item is an item that our Superintendent of Public Works, Philip Healy, who is sitting in the audience, has proposed and has been successful in getting an improvement grant for our parks, one of our parks. And this is Lawson Park, which is right off of Peninsula Boulevard. What's the corner street, Phil? Remsen. The park is in dire need of some new equipment and repairs and to spruce it up. And we have just a few parks like this around, in addition to our major park, Grice Park. And so he has put in for a grant and has been successful, I believe. And I don't know was it, how much?
That's not shown there.
Oh, what are
Really?
we? Get up, yeah.
We're putting in an application for a request for...
We didn't get it yet.
No.
No.
For a request for a
We will
matching
be
grant.
successful. Okay.
Hopefully we'll be successful.
Yeah.
We're asking for, it's a $71,000 project with a match, 50% match.
How much is it,
So
Phil? 10%?
No, the total
50,
project
50.
cost would be about $71,000. We're asking the state for $36,000.
30, and it's all for Lawson Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Majorly for some path improvement, improvements to the basketball court, but primarily improvements to the playground equipment.
And we're going to send the papers in right after we authorize this, right?
Correct. They
Good.
have to be in by the end of the month.
Yeah, the Lawson Park, if you're familiar with it, is is in pretty dire need of some improvement. It's kind of not been forgotten, but it definitely could use some new stuff. A lot of it's pretty old.
Okay, so some of the public don't realize or know, the park was named after Ed Lawson, who was on the Recreation Commission for Dick Flynn. How many? 30 years. Recreation leader Dick Flynn sitting over there. I was on the board with him for a short time, and he used to call him Mr. Recreation. And he was a fine man, and it was very fitting that that park be named after it, and it should be upkept, and appreciate Phil's recognition of that. So I'd like to have a motion to
So moved.
submit us to
Second.
set the, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, we got a resolution for engineering fees. Okay, there's a schedule here from Cameron Engineering, which
a lot of stuff.
runs down about 20 or so different categories of people, running from the managing partner when he's on the job. Their hourly rate is $150, and down to an engineering aide who would receive $43 an hour for his services. So these have been reviewed. And
Mayor, this is the general hourly billing, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
General work, okay.
Right.
That's all projects that we contract with Cameron to do.
So many projects that we do with them, they may need various people to use it, and you go by these rates, and they seem to be in line with what's out there. So if anybody has any questions on it,
No.
any debate on it, I'd like to recommend that we approve
So moved.
this list.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Okay, we have our road project for year 2001, where Cameron Engineering is the company that has surveyed and, along with Superintendent of Public Works, Phil Healy, of the roads that we will be doing next year. Where the project for this year is ongoing right now, and I believe pretty much 70% finished, I think.
I'd say so.
But there are a number of streets, and then there are parking fields. I think at a later date we'll be listing some parking fields, but this deals with some streets which, you know, has Lynbrook Avenue from Oak to Buckingham Place itself from Lynbrook Avenue to Rolling Street, Bayless Place from Union to Village Line, Somerset, which is Drive, which is a small area and intersects with Bayless, and that will be completely done, and Hollywood Avenue from Farnham Street to Linden Avenue, and Wright Avenue, which goes up from Merck Road to the firehouse, and that people who live on that block should be very happy because they've been asking for, and it's very much needed, and is. You're around the corner, right, Mr. Lenzo. So Wright Avenue, which is adjacent to the Bryce Park and goes right up to the firehouse, will be also done. So with that, it's 3,150 linear feet, and just a couple of notes on here of the engineering fees, and that's what we have based on. All right. The job should take about 70 working days. It's 90 calendar days, and we'll begin in sometime next spring. And it's recommended that the village budget separately $5,000 for necessary payment for core and soil boring, but the fees for the engineering company will be $43,500 for design and engineering, and also for, I guess, on-job going at $97,000. So it's a total, and not to exceed those amounts. It's an estimate, but not to exceed. So that's a total of $137,500. One more point. There's some other reimbursable expenses if they have to use them at cost, such as blueprinting, photocopying, photographic expenses, filing fees, messenger services, express mail, and mileage. So those items will be at cost.
That's the approximate cost of this
total is what?
140,500.
Well, the total approximate cost of this, what's described here, Gene, using about $200 a linear foot, which is what seems to be the going rate today, is about $630,000.
What am I looking at here?
No, I'm just saying, I'm just
That's the
estimating.
cost of the project.
Oh, cost of the project is...
That's an estimate.
The engineering fees will be 140,500.
147,000, 140,000. You're right,
So
you're
you're
right.
looking about 630
Okay.
when you do it. Using
Okay.
$200 a foot seems to be the
We
going
usually
rate.
put in at least $1 million a year sometime. This year, I think, was a lot more. But after we do this, pick out some parking fields, we'll be up over $1 million this year. So I'd like to have a motion to
So moved.
grant
Second.
this. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Okay, we have set the date, number 10, for public hearing for local law amendment. Mr. Foreman, would you like to read that?
Yes, what this particular amendment is to set the speed limits in the village. It says that no person shall drive a motor vehicle in excess of 30 miles an hour in any street or highway in the village, except as provided in subsections B and C below. Subsection B states that no person shall drive a motor vehicle on Sunrise Highway between Earl Avenue and Ocean, and on Sunrise Highway between Peninsula Boulevard and Horton in excess of 40 miles an hour. And C, no person shall drive a motor vehicle on Atlantic Avenue between Merrick Road and Sunrise, and on Stoudemire Avenue between Broadway and Forest Avenue in excess of 20 miles an hour. If passed, this law will be effective immediately.
Right, the reason for this is that this, our streets are getting more and more busier, and Lynbrook is getting younger and younger, and a lot of children out there, and we've been noticing that people don't obey the laws, and at 35 miles an hour, which is the present road speed for our general roads, 35 miles, and people are traveling up streets at 50.
30.
Presently?
30 in Atlantic Avenue.
30.
So what are we changing here?
We're
We're saying 30?
30 is a blanket number, Mayor, and apparently what we're doing is we're changing that for Sunrise Highway and for Atlantic and
Lowering
Stoudemire.
Atlantic and raising Sunrise.
Lowering Atlantic and
Well, look at
Stoudemire.
that first thing, A, it says no motor vehicle in excess of 30 miles an hour.
Except
Except in B and C.
I don't see the word except, that's why I don't, oh, except as provided in
Right.
section B and C, you're right.
And that's where you change it.
Okay, now we're changing, so it is 30 and that's remaining, it's 40 miles an hour now, and what is it now on Sunrise Highway, 45 or 50?
30.
30.
Are we allowing them to go fast?
It'll remain 30,
It will remain 30 in the area
except for those areas.
east of Earl and west of Peninsula. In the business
So
area.
at the present, Sunrise Highway is 30? I
Well-
haven't never seen anybody go just
Well,
30.
As you know, Mayor, back in July, I was
Police
involved
chief
in
never
it.
saw anybody go 30 either,
Yeah.
did you, Chief? Under, just the,
So on Sunrise Highway, we're upping it by 10, and on the others, by now, the reason, maybe I'll get something right with this whole thing, but on Atlantic Avenue has become busier and busier since we renovated the area and opened up the walkway. More people on the street than ever before, and many people crossing the street. And most places, upstate or anywhere else, there is road courtesy, but our people, or people who come through our villages, they come through with their cars and they don't stop for pedestrians. So we're trying to slow them down, and we're going to ask our policemen to really crack down, especially Atlantic and Stoudemire. So anyway, with all of that I bundled,
Chief, you have anything to add to that, or it was on your recommendation?
yeah, Chief Neve? Okay.
Yeah.
God. Sunrise Highway is 30 miles an hour.
Make a motion to set the public hearing date for September 18th.
Okay, all second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Very good, that was good.
All right, now,
No, there's an add-on.
okay, now, it's an added item, 10A. Want to set the date for a public hearing for Monday, October 2nd, to change zoning for the medical company proposed building in the area behind Nick's Diner. What's the street?
Go to Forest and Randall.
Forest and Randall.
Forest and Randall, the proposed building to be put up there. It's in residential C, and at present it is you're not allowed to have a firehouse or fire department in that area. We wish to address changing the zone for that purpose. So we'd like to set the date for Monday, October 2nd, for that at 8 p.m. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I recuse myself.
Okay.
I've done
Mr.
paperwork.
Henrik has been working on that project, so. Okay, now, just on good and welfare,
Bills.
first bills, Mr.
Bills, I move that the bills listed in the abstract of order voucher be paid as soon as the majority of the board has approved same.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Under good and welfare now, we need crossing guards.
Yes, Bradley.
And we need traffic control assistance, and we're very desperately in need of them, and we pay $9 an hour. If there's some young mother out there or somebody who's retired, has the time, $9 an hour to do that, and we're desperately in need of that. So I'd just like to let residents know that these jobs are available. Other
Pay cash. He just doesn't pay cash.
So you only, everybody else gets a voucher.
Everybody gets a 1099.
Okay, now, there's a Boy Scout, Mr. Dave Turner, who came to me tonight, and he will, he's taking his Eagle project, and for his Eagle project, he's going to be painting the numbers, house numbers on curbs, especially in the areas where there are new curbs that haven't been done before, and particularly Hart Street, back behind those streets behind Five Corner, the little shopping, what do you call it? Cross Island Fruit.
Right.
Yeah. Behind and off Lakeview Avenue. Hart Street, they're going to do all of those homes there. Chestnut and Vincent area north of Lakeview, and Grace Avenue, all of the houses up to Duncan. He will be distributing little notices to the people of this area, let them know that they're coming, so that they don't chase them away when he's starting to put them up. Your turn. Yeah. All right.
Good luck to him.
Okay, and so just to let you know, that, and then if this project really, most of the curbs around the Lynbrook, they've all been washed off. You can't see them. And it's a safety thing, so when a fire department looking for a specific house or emergency vehicle want to find a specific house, they look for the number on the curb. Many people don't have signs on their homes, so this is very helpful.
Yeah.
So Phil, he's going to contact you concerning whether or not he can get paint and stencils that he could use with his crew. Do you have that to give him? Okay. I'll tell him to give you a call. Okay. Okay, that's Dave Turner.
Flowers, maybe.
Okay. I don't have anything else. Anyone else on
Yes.
the board?
Just on the point you made, people should consider, Mayor, that if you don't have a number, and this is great that he's doing this, buy the little numbers over at one of the go to Miller's or whatever, and buy those 3 little numbers or 4 numbers, and put them up and leave a light on for emergency vehicles. Joe, I'm sure the fire chief and you would say it's, as well as you know the streets, it's great to have those numbers up there. So you should try to get those up and put a light on them so people can see where you are.
Mayor, if I may?
Go ahead.
Mayor, just to let the residents know, during this past week, Mayor Scarpato, myself, and Dave Smollett, who's the deputy administrator and the administrator of our municipal utility, took a ride up to Albany and had a very, very productive meeting with the Public Service Commission, with several members of the Public Service Commission, including the deputy chairman. And we spent about 3.5 hours, I guess, with those folks, as well as representatives from other villages, pretty much scattered throughout the state. And we were talking about issues related to both a municipal gas utility and a municipal electric utility. And while we talked about a lot of different things, 2 issues that were paramount were, one, our plans to offer electric at a discounted rate, all as opposed to what LIPA is providing, and two, the possibility of putting the gas utility bill for both commodity and transportation on one single bill, which has been a bugaboo since we started all of this. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. The Public Service Commission people were very, very receptive. We had an opportunity to speak to the chairman, and she was very, very receptive to the idea as well. So it was a very successful meeting, and a lot of other villages that are going through the same things, and same problems that we have. We found out very much so that we're not alone. So hopefully there'll be some improvements that'll be resulting from this. But it's good to know that the Public Service Commission is looking not only to us, but to other villages scattered throughout the state to really lead the way for deregulation of the utility market within the state of New York. And we are the leader on Long Island. There's no question about it. So they know us up in Albany, and they did spend quite a bit of time with us. And we're looking forward to furthering that relationship in the future.
Just one negative point on that, Tom. We went up there and they said that they have, the PSC, Public Service Commission, doesn't have any authority over LIPA. So LIPA is run by the governor. So we're going to be approaching the governor with some proposals.
Right.
Of course, they said that they were going to reduce rates and allow us to open up other avenues of reducing rates, but the Public Service Commission has no authority.
No authority over LIPA.
But they did say that they will do something. A lot of our problems in Lynbrook with the gas is that we have two bills, one for the transportation and one for the commodity. And
right.
We were showing a 12.5% profit on the commodity side, and everybody was beginning to be happy once we educated everyone. So just recently, they moved 10% of the savings from the commodity side and moved it to the transportation side. You're still saving 12%, but now it looks like we're giving you nothing. We're giving you 2%. So we complained about that, and they said they could force them to send one bill, which will give you an overall savings.
Hopefully, Mayor, based on what the conversation, and Dave chime in, it looks like that could happen before the end of the year.
Right.
So
they play games with them.
Yeah, I think that was what the real upshot of the meeting was, that there are concerns out there. We're not the only village. There were a number of them located throughout the state, and they know what the problems are. They know what deregulation is doing to municipal utilities like us. We're kind of a new animal for them. They deal with the highly regulated utilities, and they also deal with what are called gas marketers and ESCOs, which are energy services companies. But they really hadn't focused on municipal utilities all that much, and now they know that we're there, and they know the problems that we've encountered. So hopefully they'll give us more attention and really begin to deal with us as a specific type of an entity. So it was a really good meeting.
Okay. Anyone else?
Just
anything
Expo,
under-
if I can.
Expo?
Sure.
I know the mayor wrote in his column, and thank you very much. Expo is upon us before the next meeting, Saturday the 16th, 10 to 5. There's at least 60 antique cars coming, 45 vendors. The Army Reserve is coming. At least one helicopter will be landing, maybe two. There'll be Army tanks, probably face painting for the kids. There's a new addition this year, thanks to Fred Fusswinkle and the Rotary is helping, and 2 or 3 other people. My wife is working with Fred, bringing in a job fair for those who may not intend to go on to college or even looking to be trained for a summer job. There'll be union people there for working in the carpentry union, electrical union, plumbing union. I know that they have quite a few of the trades and outside jobs coming down that don't necessarily need a college degree, and maybe to attract some of our local kids that do not plan to go on to college, though quite a few of them do, maybe 100% last year, but are close to it anyway.
It was 100%.
100%.
But
still, they're going to be opening that up, and there seems to be an interest. I know the Santo Barbarino, the principal, was excited that and pleased that we were doing that. Again, there's 75 police agencies coming, setting up everything from a bomb robot to dogs to horses and motorcycle displays and safety displays. Hopefully the state trooper diving team will be down again. The juniors are there, and they'll be helping with the the kids race, which this year includes some challenge kids that are going to be joining in, and that will be great. I know the juniors will help. Hopefully the scouts will be there to help too, both Boy and Girl Scouts. The scouts will be sleeping out. There's scouts displays. The Civil War encampment is back. The craft show, it has 50 vendors already. The Rotary and other organizations are selling food. The local banks are participating. There's a free hayride sponsored by Astoria. Cablevision is paying for the Civil War encampment. We have a couple of surprise other free rides all day, a bouncing castle, what I call the pirate ship on the back of the truck. Peter, everything worked out with that, and they gave us what we wanted. So they'll be down. Brings you back to the old days. Remember? Well, you never bought me a ticket, Peter, in the old days. Let's see.
I'm the only one that knows about old days. So
okay. You remember, do you remember those trucks that used to come around for a nickel?
Yeah, 1 cent, 2 cents.
Well, no more. They charge us a lot of money. They charge us a lot more than that, and someone else is paying for it. We have sponsors. The local banks are sponsoring EAB, North Fork. And I don't want to leave anyone out. I think the juniors are setting up, so is medical company for a fundraiser. Scouts are sleeping over. They leave anybody out? I think I got about everything. Did I say food? Because I hate when I miss food more than twice. 3 times. Food will be there from the Rotary and other organizations. We have someone in charge of security. Ray Burke and 45 RPM will be performing, as will local Mr. Martino will be on the guitar for a while, and we have a local DJ playing. So there's lots of entertainment, all free, except for the food. I mentioned food 4 times now. I'm sorry.
And no rain, right?
Just to
no
clarify,
rain.
Mr. Hendrick, there will be food.
There's going to be food, Kevin, and it's going to be good food. Good food and lots of it.
I will not be there. I apologize.
All right. I'll save you some of the food.
It's game day at Iona.
I'm sorry, but we'd send food up there if you need it, okay?
No, thanks.
That's 5 times. That's about it. So please, I'm sorry. Well, then I wanted to hear you say it, Les. Channel 70 will be filming the entire event, and Mr. Schindler and his crew, we're back there. Say hello, crew, even though you're not on. Dick and Les will be down there, Les and Dick, or Dick and Les. And they'll be down there filming the whole thing, and everything will be great. And they're going to put it on Channel 70 and edit out the eating of the food. So hope to see you there. Please come down. There's a lot of people that work very hard on it, okay? Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
No.
Anyone else from our audience? Good welfare. If not, I'd like to have a motion
to
adjourn to executive, not executive session. Work session.
For
okay. I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor? Carry.